Previously on Reforged.
Tell me exactly what you've seen.
Oh yeah, there was a god down there.
Do you think there's any way we can deal with him?
We can't just wish our freaking lives back together. That's ridiculous, Simon.
I need to instruct you on ambassadorial relationships.
Of course, we will strive to represent Lord Velvet in all of his endeavors.
And there's a lot of dead people out here.
I definitely do throw up a little bit again.
I want to see if I can find any signs of life or where somebody left to find out where the ravens went.
I am the humble chief of this small tribe here. My name is Camille, and here is Darius.
I'm like, so hey kids, you guys, this is a cool light, but what kind of crazy situation? You're in a crazy situation, right?
Out of nowhere, suddenly, the serpents came out, and then the red demon started tearing everyone apart. And then, suddenly, the Raven Lord came down and smited all of them, and now they are dead snakes.
That's impressive. Not all of us get that kind of confirmation from such a being.
And then you see things twirling in the fog, and you hear singing from two smaller people, and walking in between them, this is the Raven Queen approaching you. The 4 travelers will come from the destroyed ocean the night after the rending, and will bring this land either prosperity or ruin.
I mean,
And like when you kind of giggle about that, like a very serious face like falls over her. Someone has entered your tent.
What are you doing here, Umbra?
She leans in a little bit close and she says, "The Raven Queen's going to kill you." Hey everyone, I'm Austin.
I'm Ian.
I'm Zoe.
and I'm Ty.
Thanks for tuning in to Reforged, episode 8. Welcome back to Reforged, the weekly fantasy tabletop RPG where I, Austin Rasmussen, the DM, return to old worlds and bring a whole new wonderful cast. This season, we're in the lands of the Kindred, and I'm with the Buunch.
Buunch. Wait, does that mean that we won't be in the next seasons?
It depends. You might.
If you do well enough.
You should.
We're a band.
do well enough.
I don't know if you knew this, but we're a band. We're the Buunch.
The Buunch.
The Buunch.
The Buunch Squad.
Yeah. Our squad is named Buunch with 2 U's, but our band is U with an umlaut.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I like
that
it.
way we can trademark both.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Sweet.
Just to get I've covered all the bases.
TM.
TM. All right. So, I don't know. Let's shake things up. Let's start with Zoe.
Oh, okay. My name is Zoe, Zoe Shane, and I play Pippi, the half-elf bard.
So I'm Ian Early. I play Hugs, the Goliath Barbarian.
I'm Ty. I play Talvar. He's a half-elf blade singer.
He's a blood slinger,
Blood
too.
slinger.
I could classify him as a blood slinger. That's a cool thing.
When he cuts somebody, it slings their blood everywhere.
Yeah,
It does, in beautiful arcs.
So last we left off, you guys were in the Ravenlands. You had just spoken with the queen, kind of settled down for the night, and then that's when somebody snuck into your tent. So, Pippi, Talvar, Hugs, and Zephyr, all of you are in this tent in the Ravenlands, and Umbra is standing before you, or kneeling, rather. And she has just told you that the Raven Queen plans to execute you. And the reason being is that she is pretty confident that you are not these 4 prophesized heroes that are supposed to come from the sea when the rains have returned. And Umbra pulls this scroll out of her pocket and unfurls it and holds it out towards you. And she says, "Can you see what is on this paper?"
I don't have my reading glasses on, but let me try.
Okay.
It's paper.
Do we...
Can we see anything on it?
So,
Do we roll for sight and dark?
all of you get to roll a check, which I'm just going to have as a little question mark. Boop. So go ahead and roll a straight up d20 with your proficiency bonus.
16.
5 plus 2 is 7.
Okay. None of you see anything on the scroll. And obviously Zephyr doesn't either.
So apparently, it's a very high roll.
I see nothing on this. It's a blank piece of paper.
And she looks over the rest of you.
Maybe it's one of those Indiana Jones situations where you have to hold up.
Oh, yes,
something
I've read
to,
that scroll.
Where you have to hold it up to moonlight or something like that.
And she shakes her head slowly.
Well, have you tried it? Way to just shoot my idea down. I mean, that's really impolite. Yeah. Cool. I'll just back away.
Does Talvar have anything to ask her? Okay. She says, the prophesized heroes are supposed to be able to read this.
Well, it's pretty obvious then we're not the prophesied heroes.
That's
Thanks
rough.
for rubbing that in our faces.
Oh, man.
He's offended.
There goes my moment
He's
of
really
glory.
tired. You can't wake him up in the middle of his rest, you guys.
Coming in here with blank pieces of paper.
So now we're going to die because...
She rolls up this piece of paper and puts it back in her... She's still got a little satchel because I guess she doesn't have pockets right now. She says, I don't want to see you four get mercilessly killed for no reason. I am confident there's a way to save your life.
Yes, it's called putting an axe in our enemy.
And her
All right,
eyes
well,
widen.
we're not going to kill the queen.
I just pat his shoulder, grab my stuff, and get ready to go.
And Umbra actually reaches out, puts her hand on your shoulder, and she says, there's no way you're going to be able to fight or run out of this.
Shoot.
Why?
Clearly you don't know who you're talking to. He runs a lot, I fight a lot. It happens.
I have a question for you, Umbra.
I just glare at him.
She can't see the scroll, can she?
Oh, Umbra says, no, I can't read it either.
So can't we just group huddle. Can't we just make up what we see so she doesn't kill us?
I'm pretty sure that she would know what goes on there.
That's true. All right, fair enough.
Just saying.
Fair enough.
The Raven Queen herself knows what is written on this scroll.
Nailed it.
Oh, dang it.
And Umbra continues, I'm fairly certain there's only one way that you're going to make it out of this. You need to approach the Raven Queen herself and supplicate yourself and beg for her mercy. You need to confess that you are not these prophesized heroes and...
Don't believe we ever claimed to be.
I don't either.
She kind of threw that term on us.
She certainly thinks you are.
It's a bit presumptuous.
How hostile is the room in general? Zephyr is being quiet and reading the situation pretty carefully. You can see some roguish clocks kind of ticking in his head as he tries to figure out the situation.
Because of what Hug said, Talvar is in a very fighty mood.
Okay.
Hugs is just cranky because he got woken up.
I feel that. He does a lot throughout the day. I'm kind of just chilling right now. I have no idea what's going on, and I'm deciding whether or not we should go talk to her.
So two people are hostile, one person is confused,
Yeah.
and then...
And Umbra
Fair.
continues and she says, I'm just doing what I can to help, and so I have some advice and then I'll leave you alone. The Raven Queen has an image to preserve, and she is known to be merciful, and so I don't think she'll kill you for when anyone's around. Especially Camille or Darius.
So you're saying we have to keep someone around at all times?
Time to kidnap people.
Like her daughter?
Umbra says, no. I am fully aware of how...
Like both of her daughters?
I am aware on how cruel she can be.
All right, well, let's bring some of those children that I befriended.
For the audience, Hug just looked over at Pippi.
You're going to hide behind children?
Yes, she's not going to kill anybody with impressionable children around. Who would do that? What a monster.
A tour of the boat.
Yeah, why not?
That sounds like kidnapping.
It's literally kidnapping, but...
Do not approve of kidnapping Raven children.
Well, we're not going to kidnap them. We're just going to have them be witnesses.
The Raven Queen still is in need of warriors, especially those who are not of the Raven people. And so if you can prove yourselves valuable, and
How many people do we need to fight for?
I mean, if you're looking for warriors, look no further. Right here. I say, motioning with 2 thumbs.
she starts to leave the tent, and she says, I wish you the best of luck, but I suggest you make your decision tonight. Simply approaching the queen out on the plains would, if you bring Camille, she will not strike immediately.
Huh.
And Umbra backs out of the tent and slips away completely silent.
Well, how about we could approach her in broad daylight and maybe bring Camille or Darius or...
Sounds like we need to do it tonight. We wouldn't make it through if we waited.
That's
agree
true.
with Hugs.
That's a good idea.
Next day.
Yeah.
I think we should offer to be warriors for her or to find warriors for her.
Sounds
that she
good to
finds.
me.
Yeah.
And Hugs is getting up and leaving.
Okay. Oh, right.
I've already got all my stuff. I follow him.
I am all my stuff.
I guess Zephyr is trailing behind with, I guess Pippi is probably the last one. Mm-hmm. And he says, I don't like the feeling of these raven people.
That's racist.
And Pippi,
I mean, it is.
He is a wolf.
give an insight check.
Insight check.
Yep.
I've been rolling 6s nonstop.
Devil.
You did take my worst dice.
It's a good dice, okay?
So
for what? For
Insight.
insight? 9.
okay, so actually your racism joke is not unbiased. Unfounded. It does just seem to you like
He's very...
Zephyr doesn't like the raven people.
He is a very open book.
In that case, my face goes from like jovial, like that's racist, to oh my god,
That's racist.
you're being racist.
Yeah. And he says, my fears are not completely unfounded.
We're gonna have to talk about that later, buddy. But right now we got to deal with the situation. Just don't let your emotions get in the way of our meeting.
Does anybody know where Camille sleeps?
I'm gonna guess the biggest ant.
Very well.
Copying your accent.
I notice his accent, and I appreciate it just a little bit.
So you guys step out into the dark raven night, and it's extremely dark here. There is a moon, but it is shrouded by clouds currently, and so the small amounts of light that peek through is sporadic, to say the least. The campfire has died down. No one is currently awake in this camp, but you do see, those of you with dark vision, do see a small trail of smoke leading out of one of these smaller tents.
I see nothing.
And I turn on the light. I just cast an orb of light.
So you 4 are alone in this camp, and Pippi lights up this just bright light, and you see Camille wince from that tent. It's kind of open right now to the night air, and he is letting his pipe smoke float out into the night.
Oh, good, you're awake.
Yes. And he nods and he says, what are you 4 still doing awake?
We gotta go tell the Raven Queen that we're not champions or something, and then tell us that she can hire us as warriors.
That's actually about right.
And we need you to come with us, otherwise she'll kill us, apparently.
Yes, we need witnesses so your queen doesn't murder us.
Yeah.
You
So
guys
come
are
on.
being a bit too forward. He doesn't know she's bloodthirsty. That's the whole reason we need to bring him. If
All
he
right.
knows, it defeats the purpose.
Well, you should just come with us. This is going to be an interesting
My
adventure.
character doesn't say that, by the way.
He didn't say that?
No, I was just pointing it out.
Okay, what's canon here?
What they said, and then like I just like looking at them like,
All right, I'll edit that out in post, I guess. Camille is stunned, to say the least. And I think we probably need to have the 2 of you who spoke up roll diplomacies.
Net 20!
19 plus 2!
So in a split second, Camille's world shatters and restructures itself.
With our charisma.
Perfect.
As the building block.
But after this wave and wave of emotion, it comes to just sort of he just kind of looks sort of, bummed out, I guess. He's a little bit crestfallen, and he says, you 4 are not the prophesized people?
Cheer up, Buttercup. We didn't think so either, so it's fine.
Buttercup. No, we're not.
And he shakes his head and he says, well, then dark times do loom before us. And he stands up with his little walking cane, and you notice he has a little bit of a limp right now.
Hugs will kind of support him a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's very nice of Hugs.
How do you... You're very massive. How do you kind of support
He
someone?
just picks him up.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So, because the Raven Queen did come through, sing that holy song, and it kind of stitched together people's flesh and cured the blight that was on them. And it seems that Camille, he's still an older gentleman, and so any sort of age progression sort of injuries seem to stay. So this isn't a cure-all spell. And so he points out into the direction of where the battle was, and those scratches are on the ground. Remember the
Wing
carvings?
talon things.
And the Raven Queen was kind of making her rounds, kind of sanctifying the ground. And he says, she will be in that way.
So as we're walking towards the area where the Raven Queen might be, I guess I'll ask Camille. So what's like the whole hubbub about this prophecy thing? I mean, why is it so important for us to be these champions?
Well, I don't know as much as the queen or any of her priests, but the legends say that there is a point in the world where either things will be revived or destroyed, and it is these prophesized heroes that will be the ones that restructure this world. And times have been getting darker, and I thought the return of the sea was a good omen, but it is quite the opposite.
I see.
Oh,
And
wow.
he says, are you certain you four are not the prophesized?
I may not be your Raven Queen's prophesied hero, but take a look at all this awesomeness before you on my body. These markings denote me as a great warrior, passed down through the blood of my people.
His eyes sparkle a little bit, going off of your diplomacy before, and you guys have made quite the impression on him. And he actually reaches out and kind of just touches one of your birthmarks, the scars on your body,
Yeah.
and seems pretty perplexed, but doesn't say anything.
Yeah, I mean, unless she was holding that map backwards, we're definitely not the prophesized heroes.
Yeah.
I'm sure we could prove ourselves to be one day, but I mean, we're not what she's looking for because we can't see it.
Regardless, take heart, Camille. Our strength could be as strong as any prophecy.
He gets a little bit of an extra,
He gets
pip in his-
happy.
pip in his step, I guess, or whatever. What's the appropriate term? Phrase?
Pep in his step.
Pep in his step.
Pep in his step.
There you go.
He limps a little happier.
That's right.
It's Pippi's brother, Peppy.
Yeah, Pepe.
Pepe the Farewell.
But we're not getting to Pepe.
getting
I don't
into-
want anything on Twitter about Pepe.
We're not getting into farewell dynasties, okay? Let's stick to one candy bar at a time.
That's
One
right.
candy bar. And a reminder too, when this creepy fog starts to close in on you guys, the light seems to push it away. Remember, and so Pippi's light is currently pushing this fog kind of to the perimeter. So if you imagine you're in this bubble of fog, as you push forward, suddenly that bubble meets a much larger bubble and kind of opens up, and you see the Raven Queen in the center, because she also has this ability. So you are in a fog of war type situation with just the Raven Queen, a bunch of blood all over the ground, and you five. What do you do?
Dun dun dun.
Oh, and she does turn and look at you as soon as you enter the premises.
I want to walk towards her.
In which fashion?
Quickly and angrily with her dagger drawn.
I'm gonna do the what's the play called?
Cupid Shuffle?
I want to do the snap thing from South. What's it called?
Oh,
West Side Story.
West Side Story?
You know, West Side Story.
You're going to walk up like a shark in a jet?
Yes, and I'm gonna do the grapevine towards her and snap at her.
That's an interesting way to
I'm
approach her.
going to stay in
gonna
the
be
back
great.
and have my hand like lightly resting on my bow.
Hugs will probably have started to walk confidently towards her, but as soon as Pippi starts doing that little number, he'll just admire it.
He just stops and he's like, yeah.
I'm
Okay.
doing this
Move
behind
it, little
everybody,
one.
by the way. Like I'm.
Groove.
As soon as you start, like, I guess, does Pippi do this out of like nervousness, or is
Yes!
this like some
No,
kind
I-
of battle prance?
I
or-
definitely jazz dance when I'm nervous.
Okay.
So
Expressionate.
it's a very small movement. It's a small version of the West Side Story snap battle dance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a
So
tiny.
it's almost like a nervous twitch sort
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Probably won't notice.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not a grand gesture.
Yeah.
Hugs will probably just walk broad shouldered confidently then towards her.
Okay. Let's see. Perhaps Talvar, give me a perception check, because you seem to be in the back currently.
I failed.
Okay.
I rolled a 3 and have a +1, so.
Okay. So that was, you were looking over at Zephyr and he was making some kind of weird motion, and you're not sure what it was.
Oh, I'm pretty sure Talvar would be like glued on the queen right now.
Okay, that's probably exactly why then. Okay. So the queen turns towards you, and I mean, she doesn't have to say anything. She wants to know why you're here. You can tell. And her eyes kind of dart between the four of you, and then kind of just drift over to Camille. And then she awaits further action from you.
So, Miss Raven Queen, gonna let you in on a little secret. I don't think we're the prophesied heroes that you think we are. As such, apparently we're supposed to ask you not to kill us.
Well, I chime in. Go ahead. What does she do?
She leans in and she says, "Oh, so you've come to realize this. But then, who told you?"
A little birdie.
We
A
figured it.
little raven. That is a joke.
We figured it out ourselves. We figured that we wouldn't be the ones.
And she kind of glowers and she says, "Did you arrive in this camp with the knowledge that you were going to deceive me?"
I had no idea you were even coming.
Yeah, we had no idea about this prophecy in the first place, to be fair, but we would gladly search for your warriors or train to become
And really,
as
in truth,
mighty
it's
as
a little
them.
bit on you for kind of assuming. I mean, you just kind of like
I'm
throw
smacking
it on us.
Hugs in his knee right as we speak. Just
Does not feel it.
Just
at
like
all.
smack. Just like, Bud, you're not helping.
I'm tired.
I'm tired. He gets so grumpy when he's tired.
Zephyr's rolling.
I love tired
Okay.
hugs. It's good. It's like, we're not your warriors. Like,
Okay.
As much as I really want to be anyone's warrior, and everyone's warrior, apparently I'm not your warrior. Because someone's has like some kind of crazy requirement.
yeah, whoops.
Whoa.
Oh.
Gotta look at a piece of paper and say if there's a picture on it.
Ma'am, we didn't see any such
All
paper.
right. It
but
was subtle at first, but remember the puddles that I told you about that were kind of in the divots in the ground that contain that sulfurous material? You see like a strong breeze shove away the water from around her as if like a pulse kind of goes out.
I'm going to nudge Camille and tell him to run.
Oh, no. No, we need him to be alive.
It's obvious she's about to attack us.
Yeah, but human shield potential is there. I don't say that out loud.
I will not let that happen.
Definitely thinking it, though. It's fine.
And Camille does walk forward and he says, "My queen." And he kneels to one knee in sort of a supplicatory stance.
Oh, shoot. Okay, we gotta tell her.
We got to tell her?
Yeah, we gotta say that that we could train to be her warriors, or that we.
You've already said it.
Yeah,
Hugs has already said it.
Yeah, but we could find your warriors. We are also but humble servants to you. It's fine. Like, it's fine. You don't have to kill us. We're great and useful assets.
And Pippi just says this.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I know she's getting ready to do something.
Hux just kind of like looks down with a look of somewhat doubt.
All right. You roll a diplomacy, I think. I
Okay.
think that's fair.
Diplomacy is charisma,
Charisma.
right?
Yep.
16 plus 6.
Oh. Pippi sounds extremely convincing and honest when she says,
Oh,
like,
for sure.
"We will serve you, don't murder us." Then the queen says, "So you will put your life in my hands." rather
It's the
than
second time you've sworn yourself to somebody in like the past couple of days.
And I'm still alive.
Hugs seems to have authority issues.
I make my own destiny.
Well, so do I, and I pledge my destiny to you.
Zephyr looks over at you, Talvar. You guys are kind of close together, and I think even though you've got your eyes pegged on, like, just the motion of his body, something says he wants to kind of communicate with you silently. And so that's just to justify you.
Okay, I guess I'll look at him.
Yeah, like, he is looking for kind of a little bit of a direction. Do you think this is a fight thing or a supplication sort of thing?
I'm completely unsure, so I'm still standing there with my bow. Not like out, but I'm just like, have my hand on my shoulder.
All right. So you see, like, Zephyr, like, strips off his sparkly jacket and kind of folds it and then kneels into this sulfurous ground.
I'm gonna do the same thing.
Hugs and Talvar.
I'm still kind of mad because of the running comment he made. So I'll wait on Hugs.
Oh, Hugs is just standing there.
So I guess we won't just stand there.
Get down! I say through clenched jaw, she's gonna freaking murder us if you don't kneel.
Hugs will just look down and he's just like, personally, if we're trying to say that we're going to be her warriors, I find it showing weakness to bend one's knee.
Okay, yeah, but
Would she rather have strong warriors who stand their ground? As he takes a pose.
Okay.
oh, we're doomed.
Like I said before, the Raven Queen has a very strong control over her emotions. Like, it's very hard to read her. She is pissed at Hugs. It's obvious.
Oh, God.
And she says, I have plenty of warriors, but then just one favor of you, warrior.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
I have invaders in my city. Snakes slithering around in the catacombs of my temples and my holy ground. Hunt them down like the weasels you are.
Pardon?
Oh, God.
Oh, my
this
God.
This is going to be a fight for sure now.
Oh, my God.
Depending on what she says.
You would dare insult my honor by calling me a weasel?
Weasels are mighty animals, and they do hunt snakes in
I
nature.
am a proud bear.
They're excellent freaking
and I will be
creatures.
addressed as such. Can I attempt to intimidate?
Go ahead. Roll
I
an
hope I roll a natural one. Natural one.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I slowly pull out my bow.
No. I dig my face in my scarves like, oh, my God. We're dead.
She raises a hand towards Hugs. Make a reflex saving throw.
Oh, I have advantage on these.
Why?
Danger sense.
Okay.
18.
So, Hugs, this reflex is because, I mean, the Raven Queen holds her hand out towards you, and I have a feeling Hugs wouldn't move. Like,
Probably not.
No. So you actually feel somebody try to trip you, and you stagger just a few steps away and hold your balance, and that is when, Talvar, you see flying through this air, this amorphous purple, like, energy bolt, and you're looking straight at Hugs, and you're like, he's probably going to be dead. And then it strikes Camille in the chest. And he staggers backwards a little bit, and you can immediately see just like bits of flesh just falling off. And he says, my queen, my life is a vow that these warriors will do what you say.
Oh, my God.
So he killed himself?
He gave his life for us.
He is starting to, I mean, just simply put, he's starting to perish in a very terrible way. You can see like the insides of his chest cavity as like this acid or whatever it is starts to kind of like eat at him. And the queen looks over at you four, and her hand is still out, and she says, "Is this the truth?"
She just killed her guy, and that's what she asks?
Yeah.
So is it pretty clear that the thing that killed Camille was from her?
Yep.
Oh, Hugs is gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
This is absolutely true. Everything that he just said is the absolute truth, and we will serve you.
What kind of ruler would kill one of their own? One who hasn't even wronged her in the slightest.
And Camille is not quite dead yet, but he is choking and gagging in very horrid ways.
Save his life, and you shall have mine.
Oh. Okay. Anyone else?
I mean, I'm obviously trying to heal this fool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, go ahead and jump down and cast a healing spell on him.
Okay. I cast Cure Wounds.
Okay.
7.
Okay. So you reach down and touch Camille and heal him 7 hit points, which translates to, like, his chest cavity starts to stitch back together and starts to burn away. You're kind of just preserving him on the edge of life. In response to what Hugs has said, the Raven Queen says, "Then very well." And she lowers her hand again, and the acid stops, and Pippi's spell starts to take over and kind of leaves a terrible scar on his chest, but he lives. But he is unconscious in the sulfur. And she says, "Immediately travel to the city of Mire, due north of here. When you arrive, in my castle you will find a man, Mire. Speak to him, and he will direct you further. Now, be gone."
Yes, ma'am. And then I head to the boat.
To the boat?
Or where are we supposed to go?
Yes, ma'am. Out. Yes, ma'am.
No, sorry. My bad. I
Pippi,
was typing. I'm out.
That would have started a fight for sure.
She's like, "What? Wait." No, I'm gonna go wherever she told us to go.
We got to go to her city, which is further in the Ravenland.
Okay, go
Hugs
to
will
her city.
first probably try and carry Camille back to the village. He'll
Okay.
carry him back, but as he like picks him up, like he'll just like look over back at the Raven Queen person. Oh man, I want him to say something super cool, but I'm just drawing a blank.
If you want a little time to think, that's okay,
Yeah,
I guess.
I'll-
While you're thinking about something, can you explain the mission one more time? I was writing down something. I'm sorry.
The Raven Queen wants you to go to the capital city of Mire.
To speak with the Mire.
Yeah, a man named Mire.
Okay.
Is that actually his name or his title?
It's a little bit of both.
I was like...
In the Raven cultural note for the Raven people, usually if they gain a title, that is their name now.
So her name is Queen.
Oh,
She is the Raven Queen. Yeah, whatever identity she had before is completely gone.
that's rough.
Good to know.
Well, Karakoma and eyes. Let's get out of here.
Okay, yeah, and she does say "Catacomb Manias" as you walk away.
Ooh, maybe he could just kind of like look back and just be like, "Sure, the knight can be with you, but how many knights will a ruler have left who disposes of her subjects so easily?"
And you say that and drop the mic and walk away. But you hear Zephyr saying, "She has had many, my friend."
Not for long.
Oh, God. We're going to finish this mission and come back and kill her.
I look at. I'm gonna nudge.
I'm totally cool with that, by the way.
I'm glad that you guys are all fired up.
I'm gonna nudge Zephyr and look at him like I get why you don't like Raven people. but just a look. All that in a look, you know? Just like looking at him and then looking at the queen like, oh, I get it.
Okay, so this next part, because I hate traveling, is going to be fairly quick. What are you going to do with Camille's unconscious but alive body?
He'll probably take him back and have Pip heal him a little bit more.
I'm gonna
if he
give him a
needs it.
scarf.
There you
Okay.
go.
And
What-
then just,
what kind of scarf?
Make sure that he's comfortable and probably
All of her scarves are just a bunch of colorful blankets, basically sewn
pretty
together.
much, but this one's especially like purple and blues and
purple and blue
cold
scarf.
colors.
Yeah, make sure that he's comfortable and probably like alert one of the villagers that he might need some looking after for a second.
All right. You have a brief, just visual conversation with Darius as he sees you kind of put Camille back and cover his body and kind of, make sure he's safe and alive. And Darius takes over from there.
Cool.
And you maybe imagine it, but you think you see sort of Umbra peeking out from underneath her tent.
She's in so much trouble.
And you four travel to the north, quickly as possible through the night. This craggy, sharp-edged landscape is pretty brutal, but soon it starts to smooth out as you get to less ocean-torn areas, and now you get to more of kind of volcanic flatlands. And you travel on further, and then the air starts to get warmer as you approach the city of Mire, which is actually, it surprises you. You are looking over these flat plains thinking, man, we've got a long way to go. And then all of a sudden, you almost fall into it. It's this steep caldera, and the city is built on the walls of this caldera leading down to this like ridiculously hot bubbling pool. You can see the Raven Queen's temple built into the side of the caldera, and it seems like nice homes are built around that, and then it slowly progresses to poorer people as it gets towards the back. So, and you are on the poor end of town as you approach this caldera. The city itself, like the way sulfur has built up in the different minerals, instead of it being that black, ugly color, it's got a lot of yellow and oranges to it.
Oh god, the smell's got to be so bad.
And steam is constantly like sputtering and bubbling out of that pool in the middle of this city.
Everything about this area is awful.
Agreed.
Well, all my scarves are sewn in with perfume, so
Okay.
I'm fine. I can give you guys one. Like, if the smell is unbearable, I can literally give you guys one of my flowery
Talvar
scarves.
wanted to ask.
Please
so.
do.
I give you both a scarf, and they're the most colorful and pretty scarves. Sorry
He
to
wraps it
interrupt, but this
around.
is important.
No, Hugs will wrap it and wear it with pride.
Talvar would too. If it got rid of the smell, he would happily put it around.
Yeah, Hugs, yours is lavender, and then Talvar, yours is more of a honey kind of smell.
Zephyr looks at you with begging eyes.
Zephyr, you get like the rosiest of roses. It's like this pink scarf, not any other color. It's
Does
just
it have
pink.
sequins?
It has so many sequins.
Oh, he's so
Zephyr.
happy.
Oh my god, so many. I'm so excited about our scarf squad.
Yes.
We just
Scarf
walk
Buunch.
into this dark, dreary place with super bright, vibrant
Just as fabulous as
scarves.
possible.
This is good.
Strike a
Okay, I'm
pose.
sorry to interrupt, but this is a good situation.
We're just voguing through the whole place.
That's right. We are the
So
people
hard.
of prophecy. Straight out of Aeropostale. Okay.
Prophesied saviors of fashion.
That's right.
Here to save you
Damn.
from your dreary lives.
So, as you guys near the edge of Mire, you can see the Raven Queen's temple, and then you also see this weird group of people there's like a commotion, and there's guards, and there's some kind of scuffle or something in one of the poorer, I guess, tiers of the city. And so, which place would you like to go to?
The temple.
Sure. Let's go to the temple.
I don't want to get involved with any of their private affairs.
Looks like their own problem.
Yeah.
Sure.
I would just keep walking to the temple like I didn't see anything.
Okay. So you guys walk past, and you get a few glimpses of what was going on, and you actually first try to walk directly to the temple, and you're like, oh man, I can't quite find a way around the city. It is sort of confusing because the rings on the city, like only certain roads will go a certain portion of the circle. So you kind of map your way around. Eventually you find it. But you see across the caldera people removing something from this house in particular, and it looks like it's just some kind of skinned carcass or something.
Ooh.
And they take that and they wrap it in some sort of, I guess, cotton linen and kind of roll it up and then pull it down. Like they take it down into, I guess, what would sort of look like a catacombs or something, some kind of entrance, a stone entrance, and it leads deeper into the city.
Didn't she say the snakes were all in the catacombs?
I think
She said they're in the catacombs, the temple, and the city.
Well, I think we should have the mission be our first mission. Go ahead
Well
to
put.
the caldera and talk to the Marquet.
All right, that sounds fine. And yeah, Zephyr totally agrees, and he says, the sooner we can be out of here, the better for me.
Through
Agreed.
his fluffy, colorful scarf.
And so you guys stride into the Raven Queen's temple. And it is pretty small in comparison to other temples you've seen in like the Whale Lands or in Polestar. It's got pretty much just 2 distinct rooms. The first being some kind of waiting room, a reception hall. And then from there's these 2 doors that slide out into a throne room. And you see a throne there, and it's covered in these long black feathers. And immediately when you enter this temple, you have a smaller orc man run up to you. And he says, "What is your business, foreigners?"
Well, we're here to talk to the Marquis on the orders of the Raven Queen, sir.
And he seems surprised, and he says, "Marquis will be returning shortly. He had something to attend to in the town. Please, make yourself at home." And you take a cautious seat on like this bench they've built out. And he sits in a chair across from you and kind of just keeps eye contact the entire time while you wait.
I guess we sit there awkwardly.
Got any magazines?
I'll actually start playing some of the religious stuff from my hometown on my pan flute.
Oh, from your hometown.
Yeah, not the one that I learned
I was going
recently.
to say, that news.
Yeah.
Everyone starts healing. Whoa.
Whoops.
And this man sort of nods along. He seems pleasant. He's doing some kind of job. And then walks in this fairly tall elvish man. He's nearly hugs his height, which is pretty tall for an elf. And he is draped in these thick leathers that are embroidered with the symbol of the Raven Queen, which is a lot of very runic sort of style to it. And he steps up to you and looks over at the man who's been supervising you. They nod. He turns to you, and then he bows. And he says, "I see you have been waiting for me. How may I be of assistance?"
Well, we were just sent here to talk to you.
Something about snakes in the cellar or something.
Yeah, right.
His eyes perk up a little bit. He looks you over, the 4 of you, and he says, "Not to offend, but the 4 of you stand out quite a bit. Do you have any more subtle vestments?"
What do you mean?
I think he wants us to put on those ugly robes again.
I'm still wearing the robe. I just have the scarf over top of it. So.
You guys put it on over the robes?
Yeah.
I don't think Hunks was wearing his robes.
Yeah, he took his off forever ago.
It's like around his waist or something.
Unceremoniously tucked into his pants or something.
Are you saying these robes? And I grab mine.
And he says, "That would do perfectly."
Okay, well, I just put my hood up over my scarves, I guess.
Okay. So a
It's
quick
really lumpy.
change of clothes, and all of you are sort of raven lookalikes. And Mire continues, "I am the guard captain of the Queen, in case you are unfamiliar with our culture. And she has sent you to me because I have been trying to track down some serpents that have made their nest here, I suppose. And I know exactly where they are, but I cannot have my hands in this. And so I hope you 4 are ready for combat."
More than ready.
Good.
I think we can handle ourselves.
Then this will be fairly simple. You will travel to the red light district of the city, and he points out the temple doors towards a pretty, indiscreet hut. And he says, "Enter there, pull aside the table, and enter the crawl space. You will come to a crossroads. Stay left. You will enter the bordello there. Speak to a man named Dawn.
Dawn.
Important. Anyone you encounter of serpent origin must be killed immediately, and their bodies burned, please. Are there any questions or concerns?"
No, we just have to burn some Slytherin people, and that's fine.
You
What's
speak
a
in
Slytherin?
tongues.
Slytherin with an apostrophe, not the Harry Potter house.
Slytherin.
Yeah.
Those Slytherin in there. That's funny.
He says, too, "After you have handled this situation, immediately depart from the city and head to the city of Lakeside. And, in the bordello, check the vase with the red rose." And that is all. And he gets up and leaves, and so does this other guy who was just watching you. And they go into the throne room and close the doors behind you. And you are left alone.
To the bordello we go.
I feel like everyone here is very rude. They never explain themselves about anything.
All right, let's go into that secret room then.
This is a cultural thing.
Their entire culture is rude.
So
Everyone's just getting a little bit more racist, just a little bit.
So happens
God,
when you go
Raven
to the
people.
Ravenlands.
yeah. So you guys go across the city. The scuffle has started to die down, and people have left. You approach this house and you walk in, and it's a little bit of an alchemy shop. There's just a few quaint little potions on the walls, and the shopkeep is probably a man who is both blind and deaf. He's just sitting there, and like he doesn't even acknowledge you exist, and you worry he is dead at first.
Hugs
Sir?
will wave a hand in front of his face.
Nothing.
Hello, sir.
Nothing.
I'm going to tap him on the hand.
He jumps.
Oh. He's alive. Seems like a really bad shopkeep. Hugs is like gonna like
What's in the shop?
pretend to like reach over towards a bottle.
He doesn't do anything. He can't see.
You like grab it and take it off the shelf.
All right.
Are you down?
Perception check.
15 total.
All right. You see him reach underneath the chair, and he pulls up a crossbow and sets it down on the table gently.
Hugs will slowly set the bottle back down. Just checking. Oh wait, sorry. Just checking. I don't think he can hear me.
He's blind and deaf.
And okay, what do you do from here?
Go to the secret room.
Yeah, go to behind the table.
Okay, so you pull aside the pretty much the only other table here, and it has a small little like Raven board game set up on it, some kind of variation of chess. And you push this aside, and the hole below is far smaller than Hugs is.
Hugs is gonna stare at it.
Does his hand even fit through it? Like, how big is this
I
hole?
mean, if the hole is maybe like 2 feet tall.
Oh.
So if Hugs gets on all fours and like tries to slither his way in, he's gonna get stuck.
I'm gonna become my own Slytherin.
How hard to size.
I guess I want to crawl into it.
I would too.
Yeah.
Okay, who goes into the dark, creepy hole first?
You go first, Talvar. You're so much better
Sure,
at
I'll
crawling
go in
into
first.
holes.
Okay,
I don't care.
you slide in. You see a room that is just a small, short hallway, and it is completely painted black with like a tar substance, and you can smell tar. And you push forward a little bit, and then your hands touch against some kind of tacky substance, and then you realize it's a curtain, and you pull it aside, and there's a red light that drifts in.
Oh. I noticed the light that's coming from the end of the tunnel, and I crawl in.
And Zephyr slides in pretty expertly.
Hugs has to stand guard.
You got this, Hugs.
Our
Just chill
best
out
fighter
here.
can't come in.
Just punch through the wall.
Hugs will look back at the storekeep guy, and he will try to break the wall a little bit more.
Like, just like reach down and like break the bottom off a board?
Yeah.
Okay, not just like... "Badoosh."
Oh no, he'll do that probably. Like just try and kick slightly above where the hole is.
It's a swift, just mighty kick.
Yes.
Go ahead and make a strength check.
17.
So you guys are all crawling through, and you just hear snap, boom, bang, and Hugs just gently sets down the broken ass
Yes.
boards, and you can slide in now.
He'll
You're
look
okay.
back at the shopkeep. Has he reacted at all?
Not really.
Hugs will slowly put a gold piece down on the table and go through the hole.
Oh, okay.
He's so generous. Even though he gave all of his gold to
Yeah.
that other woman.
I imagine he's acquired some since then.
So you slide back in to this hole, and then you hear the table sliding back into position behind you.
Hugs like looking over the table slightly now because the hole is larger.
Yeah, it's so dark in here now. The only way is forward, pretty much.
All right.
So you guys step out into this, it's carved wooden, well, there's wooden supports, but this is kind of, these are tunnels carved through volcanic rock. So they're very jagged and sharp on the edges, and they are lit with these small red lanterns. And you come to a crossroads. You can go right, left, or straight.
We have to go left, do we not?
That's right.
Yeah, let's go left.
Okay.
Zephyr's like, wait, right?
No,
I'm
he was
already
straight with that
walking.
last answer.
I'm already walking left.
I'll just kind of follow him because
No,
we
that
could
did-
always backtrack.
Okay.
But I want to be
Right.
clear. I am following and not leading this expedition.
Okay. I'll play.
Straight ahead then.
Let's see if I.
No, left.
Right.
Who's on first?
Thank you. I was hoping for this.
Yes, I will take that low-hanging fruit.
Does anybody in our group have good perception?
I have really good perception.
Okay.
+3.
I have +1.
Let's
so
see if I've got some
As
stuff.
as I check my perception.
Is this good
+4.
music?
So yeah.
There you go.
okay. So me leading might not be the best idea, but I'm leading.
Got this.
All right. So when you're leading, are you in like combat mode?
Yeah.
Okay. So you come in just like ready for battle, and the first thing
Well, I've just got my hands like on my scimitars ready to draw them in case something goes up.
How are you crawling forward?
We're not crawling anymore.
no, you can stand up now.
Okay.
It was a crawlway.
Hugs
Or it was
been
it was a
crawling
crawway,
this
and then we got into an actual walkway. that had-
It's so dark that Hugs is just crawling.
Yeah. I was like, wait, where can I stand?
Yeah, you can see the red
Oh, that's
lights
right.
now.
There's light.
So Talvar has hands ready to like Assassin's Creed style just start whooping it. And you walk into this room and people are just having a good time. There's beautiful women all over the place and you are in the bordello now. You see a countertop and behind it is a fairly well-dressed gnomish person.
I feel like we just could have used the front door.
I think you're right.
Yeah, why did we have to?
I look around. Well, we gotta. Is there a front door in here?
No, this is the only entrance.
Oh.
Well, this is the entrance. There's other doors because people need to go other places.
Right.
But yeah, you see a gnomish man sitting behind a counter, and he's got a little stack of gold. And there are he's got vases all around the edge of his.
Do any of them have a rose?
A red rose.
Why, yes, one of them does.
I walk up to it and look in it.
You see that the dirt, this is the only potted plant that has a little bit of a cloth that's holding up the dirt. And so as soon as you reach for it, the gnomish guy shoots his eyes towards you. What would you do then?
Well,
I'd search it.
if he's drawing attention of that guy, I'm gonna say, "Are you Don?" to distract him.
The gnomish guy?
Yeah, the guy that's noticing Talvar taking the rose, because I
Okay.
know we need that.
I don't know. What do you sound like a French guy? He's like, no, I am not Don.
Well, you would. This is a small community. You wouldn't happen to know a Don.
Don is currently in the middle of a session, shall we say.
Like a
That was
prostitute.
Having sex.
Yeah.
And he squints a little bit and shifty-eyed a little bit, and he says, shall you join him?
No, God. If it's what kind of
Wait,
session are we
Maybe
talking
this
about?
is code. Yes, I shall join him.
Hugs comes out of nowhere.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And Talvar, real quick, you lift this up, and inside there is a hefty pouch of coins, probably about 1,000.
Oh,
Cool.
snap. Take it.
I did. We were told to take what was under the rose, so I took what was under the rose.
So this man leads you over towards a very particular door. It seems like they're numbered, and as they go up, they get fancier.
Ooh.
And he slides open the door, and there's a curtain behind it. And he says, "Sir, your newest toy is here." And he
sweet
pushes
Jesus.
Hugs in, and then closes the door, and you three are left outside.
Push Hugs in.
So,
Oh, real quick, when I
Probably
pulled the
walking
coins out,
in.
I
Right.
hid them in my robe. Just,
You ass.
oh, I don't want him.
Can I roll for perception?
I don't want him to see them.
Oh,
I
okay.
just
Never
stole
mind.
them from him when you were distracting him.
Fair enough.
One of the least greedy people in the group. My money.
You're right. That may have been the most greedy thing that Pippi
that's
could
very
have said.
true.
All right. Props to you. All right.
But yeah.
So, Hugs, what would you do or say as you walk into this room?
All right, Don, I was sent here to meet with you by the Mire Key and the Raven Queen. Apparently, they want us to talk to you.
So
By
inside,
us, apparently it's just me.
inside there's this nice bed,
Oh god.
the soft cushions, and
Nice place.
and
Pretty comfy
Dawn.
looking.
Dawn is standing there, proud, stout dwarf, full frontal nudity, and
Wait, woman or man?
huh?
Woman or man?
Man.
Man. Gotcha.
Also look up and down. Just you're very proud with your body. I like it.
I'm just listening in the doorway.
I'm going to be leaning on the side of the door too.
We're like concerned parents, just leaning in.
And Dawn says, "Ah, why have you come?"
Well, I'm hunting snakes.
Yeah, you are.
Apparently they're in the catacombs. Or the tunnels, I don't know.
Yeah, they are.
I hear you're the man to talk to about finding them.
We're adults. Come on.
I know every catacomb in this city.
That's good. That's what we'll need.
We're gonna need more than just you, my friend.
True. I have a whole gang outside.
Please bring them in.
Sure. I'll open the door.
And I say, I'm 14.
And Zephyr's just like, oh god.
I walk in, but don't take my hands off the scimitars.
Right, Buunch. This guy, Don, is here to help us find snakes in the tunnels.
In the catacombs, I think is the phrasing that he used.
Yes.
Don looks over towards Talvar and he's like, friend, are you scared of me? Obviously, I'm well equipped. And he holds out his naked arms. He's not wearing a pouch or anything.
I just glare at him.
I'm just gonna subtly just put
He's
a scarf.
very proud of his body. It's very apparent.
I'm just gonna put a scarf on him.
Oh, whoa.
She walks forward. She's like,
With my eyes closed, just like, well, not closed, because that could lead to dangerous situations, but I cover him.
Okay.
And I'm like, for God's sake, put something on. There are children in the room.
Namely her.
It's me. I'm the children.
He's like, we all have our preferred methods of stealth. This is mine.
Okay, well, I have my preferred methods of decency. So if you could just put on this scarf, thank you. I just put it and then I proudly just walk away.
So the dwarf says, help me move this. And he starts to tug on, he like bends over, scarf falls off, and he starts pulling this bed across the table. And you can just see like his back has just got muscles in it.
Sure
And he's
thing. I'll just walk over and help him move the bed.
Okay, and there is a dark, creepy corridor leading down.
You do know all the catacombs.
I sure do.
Okay, let's go.
so you got two new
Wait.
naked men. Just
I'm gonna say, I am quite large. Will I be able to fit?
You've gotten this far, my friend.
Very true. I forced my way in. All right, let's go.
I don't know if this is a clean podcast anymore.
this one you're going to have to put a warning over.
Mountain Dew. Just name this episode Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew. It's gonna be called Full Frontal Dwarf.
I'm
All right, I'm good.
I'm gonna burn that scarf, and then I'm gonna just go wherever they're going.
Okay.
She
I do
just
burn
walks
it,
over
though.
and lights it on fire and walks away. She's like,
I do. It's one of my smaller scarves though.
Okay.
It's the one I don't care about as much.
So, and the dwarf actually goes over to a table and picks up kind of like a quick map. It looks like it's been sketched out very hastily. And he hands it to Hugs, I guess, and says, this will get you to the tavern. Follow its rules directly. Do not get lost. And remember, you are not going to find friends there.
Only snakes.
Lots of snakes.
Gotcha. And we'll
and
kill all of
away
them.
we go.
Yes. Do you have any other questions for me?
What's your workout?
We should coordinate
We should totally like.
And he says, you have no idea how many squats I did waiting for you for.
I like
In the
it.
corner, he's like, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Feel the burn. Okay.
Feels it burn.
Feels the burn.
Oh my gosh.
And you guys go down into this catacombs, and this like bed slides over the top, and you hear a dwarf jump back on top of it.
Seems like a nice man. Decent fellow.
Sure was. Let's not visit Don again.
Let's go.
Okay.
I feel like we have to visit him to get out of the tunnels.
I think we should just like find a new way.
Just abandon this path.
Let's just burn that bridge when we get to it.
Just burn the bed.
Okay.
Burn that. Yeah.
Just light the bed on fire from below.
Let's go. Let's.
So as you guys are traveling through these catacombs, it is very dark. So would you like to use a light or held Dogs' hand as you lead him through? That's up to you two because you
I
have
would
dark
already
vision.
just be walking.
Sure. I'll light a light so that people can see.
Okay.
Because I know Zephyr can't see. Can he?
No,
No, he's
Zephyr
not.
can't either.
Okay. I'll light a light.
Okay. And so you guys, it takes a little while, and perhaps let's have you cumulatively, or whoever has the map, roll survival checks, just to make sure you don't get too off course.
Ian has the map. Who's got the highest survival?
I think Pippi actually has
Probably
the highest
me.
survival.
Yeah, like I said before, you guys can all roll, and then it kind of averages it out, or one person can do it, and that carries more weight.
13.
12.
16.
Natural 1.
Well.
Thanks, Zephyr.
So you see Zephyr like doing a double take back towards Dawn's room as you keep going. He's like, okay, this way, right? This way. And he tries to turn
Walk
around.
forward, Sparkles.
Okay. And he just follows you
In
at
a
some point.
trance. All right.
All right. So you guys take surprisingly long to kind of find where you're going.
Even though we have a map.
Yeah. And so you guys have been awake now for over half a day. Your travel and everything, and maybe you're getting close to the 24-hour mark, so you can choose to do a long rest. Otherwise, you'll get like fatigue damage and that kind of thing.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Set up camp.
I can do a song of rest for us.
There was a nice bed back there. Why didn't we just stop there?
Let's just sleep here.
I've got
Seems
a
much
small
more
tent.
comfortable.
We're under. Let me be
We're
clear.
in a cave.
We're in a cave, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to set up your tent,
I'm going to.
he sets up his tent. I want to sing "Song of Rest."
Hey guys, Austin here, your DM. Just stepping in here for a little bit for this week's intermission. But it's not just me. It's everyone.
Whoa! What a surprise!
Hey guys. We're all here basically to tell you that we love you.
Oh, we love you so
very
much.
Just you. No one else.
Yeah, it's-
Just you.
Yeah.
We're pretty
What Ian
biased.
said.
It's just you, yeah.
I just wanted to tell you guys again, like, your support on Twitter and our other social medias is just, it's awesome. We've been live, so when we're recording this, Kindred has been live for 2 months.
You guys.
That's so cool.
Yeah. It's so fun doing this podcast, and like when we're doing it, we're always thinking of you guys, but we want to hear from you too, because that makes it just way more fun. So reach out to us on Twitter. Of course, we're at Reforged Staff.
To know that someone's out there listening is really special, and we kind of amp it up a little bit, and it's nice to actually see the feedback that we get from you guys to get that kind of gratification. It's so comforting.
Leave more comments.
Yeah.
More comments.
No, please, because like behind the scenes, like every single night after I get home from work, I come home and edit the podcast, like every single night. So it's kind of nice to hear people saying like, "Oh, we enjoyed it." Speaking about reviews, we've gotten a few on iTunes, and they are awesome, all 5 stars. So I think I want to read them. Let's have. I don't know, Zoe. You want to read this first one?
I'll
here?
read the first one for sure.
5 stars.
Genuinely exceptional from Maku Mazahan.
I'm under a good lead that's pronounced Maku Mazan.
Genuinely exceptional, followed by 5 stars. A fantastic podcast with charming characters and smoothly edited audio.
Austin, is this your own review?
No,
It's not.
I have never found another D&D themed podcast that grabbed my attention like this one did. That is such a huge compliment
That is
because
a
there
really
are
compliment.
so many out there, and to know that even one person thinks that is that's what's genuinely
That's
exceptional.
so sweet. Oh man. So I'm gonna butcher this name. Infuwapu? Infuapu.
Infuapu?
I think that's a reference to the Wolflands. Infuapu. Infuapu. Thank you. He says, awesome. 5 stars. Fantastic podcast. This is the first D&D podcast and first podcast overall that I've listened to, and I'm hooked. The group is fun and well balanced, and the world is incredibly well thought out and interesting. I'm excited to listen to the rest of the campaign. Oh,
That's so in depth. People are really
Great.
thinking about these reviews. And when he wrote group, he wrote it with 2 U's, right?
group.
Group.
The group.
Oh, okay. And we also, like, what should we do for our hashtag?
Guys.
What?
Fans of the podcast are called groupies.
With 2 U's.
They're called groupies.
Okay.
Hashtag groupies with 2
Hashtag
U's.
groupies.
I like this. Hey, I like this.
Okay, what is that? Hashtag
GROUUPIES.
GROUUPIES.
Yes.
Groupies. Okay.
Groupies.
Hashtag groupies. Follow us on Twitter at Reforged Staff. Subscribe on YouTube, iTunes. Oh yeah, we're on Spotify, we're on Google Play, we're on Stitcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're only on those some of those places because some of you said that you couldn't access it anywhere else. So we do take
Yes,
Yeah.
feedback from you guys
We
if
are
you can't
listening.
access it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Our fans obviously love you guys. Where can they find you, Zoe?
You can find me at Zoe with Umlaut.
You can find me on Twitter at Brother Tortoise.
And Ty, we love you. You've given us our Twitter once. Your Twitter once.
Yeah.
Can we have it again?
It's Crippled Nova.
At Crippled Nova on Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there it is, folks.
And
There it is.
There we go.
You shan't hear it again.
First
we
episode,
figured it
8th
out.
episode.
Every 8 episodes, Ty gives his Twitter.
Start tallying it, everybody. Write it down.
You should just change it to "and I'm Ty."
Yes.
and I'm
Ty.
That would be an interesting Twitter name.
And I'm Ty.
I'll do it.
And
Please do. It's
oh,
good.
yeah.
I will follow you to the ends of the earth.
Also, if you guys want to find me, I'm on Twitter at Trenchmaker. Other news, I still want to super hype up the hashtag Women in Tabletop Gaming Month.
That's right.
Yes.
That is hosted by Tales from the Fandom at Tales FT Fandom on Twitter. But we're going to be participating in that. So we're releasing an entirely new 4-episode campaign.
All of us.
My
No.
apologies.
Ty and I will not
Reforged.
be.
Reforged will be participating, and Zoe will be one of the players. We will be playing Chronicles of Darkness. I want to make it clear too that we're going to be releasing the Women in Tabletop Gaming episodes on top of the Reforged. So you'll be getting 2 episodes every week in June.
Have fun with that, Austin.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Are you going to be editing those as well?
Yes, he is.
So I'm going to cry for a little while.
Yeah,
send
give
me
him-
tweet loves. Please send me tweet loves. Hashtag
I'll
tweet love.
come over and get drunk with you.
But anyways, you guys, you make this podcast amazing. So we love you, and we will see you next week. And back to the action.
All right.
Time has passed at this point. You guys almost can swear you hear like echoing screams every once in a while throughout the night. And you guys take your shifts, we'll say, at some point or another, and nothing happens. And you continue down the tunnels. That's when you arrive at what would be your destination. And it is these cave tunnels, but they are barricaded by some kind of wood structure. And there's just a small, very shoddy door. And it has something written in one of the ancient languages. And it's not Fox, which is the only ancient language I think you guys know. I am just going to pass it over to you at this point. What would you guys like to do? Changing
Knock
music.
on the door.
Obvious. It says "Speak, friend, and enter."
Yeah. I mean, what he said, knock on the door.
Yeah. Just walk up and go.
Well, maybe, hold on. Let's just...
Too late. I knocked on the door.
As he's going up to do that, it's like Hugs will look down. It's like, "I want to apologize for my behavior.
We don't even need to discuss what happened.
I was very cranky. It's what happens when I don't get enough sleep. I feel like I might have made a mockery of the Buunch."
It's all right. The Buunch's name is intact as long as you never speak of what happened in that room.
He's talking about with the queen.
I'm still thinking about that room.
Pip, you really need to get your mind off of that.
I can't. I can heal as much as I want, but it'll never go away. Anyway.
There, little songbird. Hush now. It's all over.
I'm visibly scarred. No, but I forgive you. You were obviously without rest. It's fine.
Feel kind of bad that I almost got Camille killed.
It's fine. He's alive. Let's go into this room.
Hugs has unresolved issues, I guess.
Yeah, I guess Pippi's not one for forgiving
Oh.
directly.
Oh.
That's right.
Is Pippi a little salty towards Hugs?
No, it's just I never really learned how to forgive.
I
It's
see.
like there's no such thing as you're fine. Like I forgive you. It's just like
fine.
it was resolved. It's gone now.
It's done.
The past
Swept
is the
under
past.
the rug.
Past is past. So, Talvar knocks on the door. A strong. And when you knock 3 times, you just hear a big metal bar like chunk behind it, and the door goes limp and starts to swing out a little bit.
I'll open it.
All right.
It's like he figured out the password.
You swing open this door, and there is a person, you would say, beyond in this cowl. He's wearing not raven clothes, but these extremely dark, heavy leather, almost in the shape of monk robes, but they've got the thickness of like a leather jerkin, battle-worthy and concealing. Immediately Zephyr stiffens. Something's wrong. Talvar is in the lead. This thing nods to you and kind of pivots his back foot, or its back foot or whatever, just slightly enough to kind of say, you have clearance to come in.
I'll go in.
Talvar strides in. Everyone else?
I'm gonna wait for Hugs and Zephyr to go in.
Hugs is going to be pondering in his brain. He seems to be going over the words said to him by the people. As soon as you see a snake, kill it. And then burn its body. Hugs is real debating on whether or not he should just try and kill this thing. Is it a snake?
We don't know.
You have to roll. Oh well.
It's not a snake.
You don't know. It's concealed to the point where you can't see its face, especially without having dark vision.
And none of the snakes we've seen have wore robes like that.
Something doesn't feel right about this.
It's wolves. They're Zephyr's people.
Wow. How's Zephyr reacting to this whole situation?
Tensed up.
He tensed up.
Yeah.
Shoot.
What's going on, Sparkles?
It's either wolves or raven people. Am I right?
Pip's just like, I hate that you're racist. 2 minutes later.
Yeah.
So dang.
When you
with ya.
when you say what's going on, Zephyr, he's like, it isn't good, Hugs, but I don't know.
Should I kill it?
Just
He says, blood will be shed soon enough.
So not this one.
Let us see, my friend.
Very well.
Hold your blade for now.
My fists.
He corrects him very softly. My fists.
I guess he'll walk in cautiously, on edge.
Okay.
I'll follow Hugs.
All right. When you walk in, it gets culty super fast. There are lanterns that are made out of skulls and are burning tar, and a lot of them are human skulls. It's pretty obvious. And you walk forward, and there is another one of these people in the same outfit, but they have this huge greatsword strapped across their back. And on the table in front of them, there are 8 stones, all flat and smooth. And in front of each of the stones, you see a small depiction of the animal lords. And he just nods as you approach and waits to see what you do. Talvar, I guess you're the one in front. You walk up to this table, and you have these 8 stones.
I'm just going to look at them and see how they're laid out.
In, like, which order?
Yeah, like what order? Is there a map, or are they just straight across the table, or?
Yeah, so if this is a long rectangular table, they are spaced out evenly all the way down the table. There's just these 8 stones, and in front of them, there's the depiction of the animals, including serpent. And it looks like there's little grooves on the table where the stones have been slid back and forth. So the order is serpent, eagle, whale, fox, wolf, bear, elk, raven.
I write it all. I draw this in my thing.
Okay.
I definitely want to look at the elk thing, though. That's interesting to me, to see how many stones are on it or what's going on there.
Oh, okay. There's just one for each right now.
And I'm going to see how many people are in the room.
Beyond, you can't really see. Yeah.
How many people have I seen, though?
Only 2.
Only
the other
2.
guy and this one.
Okay. I'll wait. I want to see what happens.
I want to look around, see what's going on here.
Okay. You can make a religion check. It'll be a pretty good one.
Okay. 4 + 2, so maybe not.
Okay. You look around and there are some sort of strange markings on the wall. You're not exactly sure what they are.
Cool.
Hugs? You can see Zephyr might do something, but he's waiting for you.
Looks like they want us to slide one of these stones across the table. Very well. Hugs will walk up and slide the bear token towards himself.
You slide the bear token, and the thing nods, reaches out, and slides it back, and then points to the left.
Oh, okay. I'll slide the fox one.
You slide it, and he also points to the left.
I go to the left.
I'm going to pull the elk one.
All right. You do the same, and he directs you the same.
Okay.
Zephyr stands up to the table, and he just picks up the wolf token, and then the thing points in the other direction of you 3.
I knew it. I'm going to be very cautious going to the left. What does Hugs do? He has been oddly quiet since sliding his token.
Hugs will basically just like look over at Zephyr and then just kind of be like, he said there'd be blood later. I should probably follow him. And Hugs will like pick up the bear token. And then start following Zephyr.
I mean, as you just...
This big confused guy.
As you...
He never left the table. Basically, he slid it. The dude motioned to the left.
Yeah.
I slid it. He motioned to the left. I started going while watching Hugs. Zephyr picked it up. And Hugs is like, oh!
I think as you turn around to try and like approach the table again, the man just kind of puts his hand down the corner and kind of barricades, like sort of, it's an expression of you've gone this far kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how good Hugs is at subtlety, but...
Not at all. Hugs will kind of look down at the table, kind of like look over towards Zephyr and just be like, kind of like motion between him and Zephyr, be like, should I follow you?
And this thing behind the counter turns and looks at Zephyr, realizes you two are trying to communicate, and Zephyr does a really obnoxious sort of like be gone with you wave of his fist, like his wrist, and then the other man nods and turns back towards you, and Zephyr disappears into the right side.
Well, that was rude.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm going to go through the left door now.
Okay.
Sparkles! Sparkles! Hey! Do I need to go to the right or the left?
I grab onto Hugs and I'm like, come on, big guy, let's go this way. Sun's
Okay.
getting real low.
Fine.
You guys approach that other side, and all around you are alcoves dug into the side of the volcanic rock. And so this is a big open room, and it has just a bunch of these little cubbies. And so it looks like almost like the inside of a beehive or something, kind of like a honeycomb sort of. They're staggered, and there's ones on different levels, and some of them are lit up, and there's people sitting and conversing at a table. And when you 3 walk in, immediately one of these things stands up out of a table and kind of directs towards this cubby.
What's in the cubby?
Nothing. It's a table.
Is there anything like on the benches, or it's just completely empty?
Yep.
Well, I go.
I'm going to slowly sit down.
Yeah.
I guess I'll stand by the table.
Okay. You make it apparent that it's too small or something.
Pretty much.
Okay. This will be interesting. The man leans forward. He speaks in a hushed whisper to try to like conceal personality, race, anything. And he says, "Welcome to the coven. Who is it that you need killed today?"
Whoa, now.
Pardon?
I raise my hand as high as I can, as high as I possibly can, and I say, "We need the witch of divestiture to be dead.
Divestiture.
Divestiture to be dead, please. And thank you. What is this place?"
Do you ask this?
Yes, in that order.
We need this. Please and thank you. What is this place?
He automatically... Insight. Someone needs to roll an insight check there.
8.
12.
Natural 20.
Ah, snap.
Oh,
Talvar's
snap.
got this.
So, Talvar, it's very hard to notice, and I'm going to kind of couple this in with a perception check. So roll a quick perception, because this will be important as well.
10.
Okay. That's actually still okay. Because you notice his movement as you're inspecting him, so you can just imply the sound, but you hear him just scuff his foot across the floor, and that's immediately when you see several other people in the room. Like you kind of hear a as an echoing thing. And also you hear a conversation suddenly get cut short, and that's why you realize that's why you remember the last few words of this conversation, because it suddenly is cut short, and so you've kind of retained what was said. And they say, "The Raven Girl is in our custody and will be delivered to Den by morning." And that's when all hell breaks loose.
I'm going to shoot out from the table and draw my swords.
All right.
Talvar shot first.
Yeah, it's not a surprise round. Everyone roll for initiative.
Oh, I forgot. I actually have advantage on initiative.
6.
There we go. 14.
I don't. So 3.
Promptly looks, and I do not. 6 was mine.
Okay. Well, I'm going to describe this a little bit while we confirm initiatives. This room, it is kind of like a beehive shape. It is a catacomb, and then the very top row is open. So it looks like you could get up there. Something could be up there.
Okay.
Ew.
So, but climbing from one, like,
How
hole
big
to
is the room?
About 300 feet across.
300? God damn it.
Yeah.
All right. That's a big room.
Retcon. I thought the danger sense also gave advantage on initiative, but it doesn't. So my initiative roll is 4.
4?
Yeah. Lo siento.
Still one more than me.
So the host takes out a small little dagger and whips it forward, probably towards Talvar. Because
Okay.
Pippi's obviously being confused or something, and
I guess.
Was trying
I mean,
to
I got a
lie.
higher thing than you two. But
quick Talvar AC again.
16.
He whips this dagger towards you with impressive speed, and it buries itself into your robes right beneath your armpit sort of area. It looks like he had a pretty impressive aim and was trying to aim for some sort of artery up there.
So basically me trying to jump out of the boot saved my life.
Yep, I would say so.
awesome.
And there are about 10 other active combatants that just start jumping down out of these alcoves and kind of get ready for combat. So, Hugs, are you ready for a 4v11?
Yes.
Pippi.
I do want to, give me a sec. Okay. I'm going to, is there anyone coming at me at the moment? Like anybody coming directly at me?
Yeah, there's 10 other people coming towards your table.
Okay. All right. I'm going to cast invisibility.
Oh.
Pippi's like, time to save my own skin.
Yeah.
She ducks under the table and then she's just gone.
Yeah.
Does she have like a little jig or something she says?
I go, and Alakazam.
She's like, Blue Skidoo, we can too.
All right.
That's exactly what she says. Do I have to roll for that for invisibility?
You just got it.
I have it. I
So I
am
think we need to
invisible.
correct Austin's statement. Is Hugs ready for a 3v11?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She's a rogue
No.
bard combo.
Can I do
so
another?
she can
Is
fight.
it just invisibility as my turn? Okay.
That's your action.
All right,
yeah.
that's fine.
You can move and stuff, but
I am under the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are feeling awfully abandoned. Zephyr leaves, now Pippi leaves.
Actually, wouldn't that be a 2v11 at
I
this
guess-
point?
there you go. We're 2v11.
Because Zephyr's
news.
not here.
Time to prove that you never run.
As two people run.
Hey,
Maybe
I
one
only,
of the Buunch actually has some courage.
I've only ran from a god. Just pointing that out.
Fair enough. Daedalus.
I think you
Damn,
get advantage on
silence.
stealth checks. So where are you going?
Where am I going?
Yep.
She's
Well, actually, I do want to go under the table, but I want to go towards whoever's legs are closest to the underneath of the table.
so the guy who's sitting on the other side from
You're
us.
going to attack your host, the one that just attacked Talbar?
Oh, yes, sir.
Well,
It's gonna
she's
be
going to
good.
go next to him because
I'm
she
gonna
doesn't have an
slash his
action to
ankles.
attack right
Okay,
now.
I'll give you advantage on your attack roll.
All right. I can have that because I have the thing. I'm a stealth attack person.
Oh, you're a barbarian.
Yeah, I'm
now.
a rogue, yeah.
All right.
So I'm stealth attack, so plus D6 extra damage. So I need to roll to see if I actually hit it. 18.
Yep, totally.
All right.
Wait, roll again to see if you get a crit.
Yeah, you might get a crit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you have advantage.
That's right. 6. No. And then I use my. I'm gonna use my my silver short sword,
Okay.
and I'm gonna do 11 damage. I'm just chopping up his knuckles. I mean his ankles.
Yeah. Oh, no.
No.
You just started saying knuckles. I thought you were going for nuts.
So this
His the entirety of his legs.
Talvar, this dagger buries into you, and then all of a sudden you just see like a spray of blood from under the table. This dude screams and falls to the floor.
Oh, jeez.
Hugs. No. Yeah, hugs.
Awesome.
That's what you get for throwing daggers. All right. Yeah, I guess Hugs will turn to face the 10 approaching people. Yeah. And he'll just be like, oh, finally. And he'll enter a rage and charge forward and attempt to punch the closest one in the face.
I forgot
Okay.
that you can rage. That's cool.
19 to hit.
You got it.
So he does 8 damage with the punch, and as per his feat, he gets a free grapple attempt.
Okay.
So he'll punch this dude and then try and grab hold of him. 21.
You got it.
All right, so he has a hold of him then.
So you're going after one of those guys.
Yeah, all the 10 that are charging up.
He's going after all the 10.
How close together are they?
Are they like Spartan style?
It depends. What are you trying to do? An area of effect blast?
Yeah, I have an attack that it's a 10-foot radius around me. So I'd
Around
have to
you.
like run into the middle of them and
You might be able to get 3 at one time.
3.
Yep.
He's a reaper.
Right.
Okay.
So hugs. How much you just grapple this dude?
So I punched him for 8.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
right.
then I have a hold of him.
Okay. You
hell of a
are
punch.
you've got the ability if you would like to like rip away any clothing or see because you are
yeah.
grappling now, so you could maybe peel away something.
For sure, yeah. Then he'll just like rip for the hood.
Okay. So you yank this hood back off of him, and it appears that he is a half orc. And roll a history check.
5.
Okay.
You don't know.
You are distinctly looking for that gray serpent skin. This person doesn't have it.
Are you a snake?
Hey, you.
You gonna say that?
Yeah, he'll like, as he like grabs hold of him, like pulls him in, he'll just be like, are you a snake?
I'm a half orc.
Fair enough. Touche. I walked right into that one. You know what? Maybe we just are done. You know what? Hey. You know what? Sorry about the punch. We cool? We good?
You're best friends now.
You're holding him up. We good?
By the collar.
I like it. He's like, why are you here? What are you doing to us?
We're here to kill snakes. We were told there would be a bunch of snakes here.
There are.
Oh.
Kill them then.
Yeah, point me in those directions and I'll stop punching.
Oh.
Yeah. Wait. Why are you guys attacking us? I mean, like, I'm all for combat and stuff, but...
So casual.
Wait, what just happened?
All the others are like getting ready to hit him, and he's like,
Well,
"What is going on?"
He did the foot, the thing. It
Right.
means, yeah.
What does that mean?
That means we have to attack you.
Why?
Well, because you've messed up, I think. Did you fail a roll or something?
She asked what this place was.
I'm under the table. Wait, we're not supposed to be attacking these people. I just totally scissored up this dude's
Yeah. Wait a minute. I think we're all having... Wait, time out.
I love how he said, "Did you fail a roll?" Nobody caught that.
So Hugs is gonna like hold out a hand to the 10 people or the other 9 charging. He's like, whoa, wait.
He's like directing this whole
Hang on.
This guy you're holding is like, do what he says.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, we didn't come down here to disrupt your culty murder assassin guild. No. Yes. No, we're here to just kill snakes because we were told to. So that's why we're here. So if anybody knows a snake, we can kill them and not have to hurt anybody else. I guess.
You see everyone looking around, and a couple of them pull off their hoods real fast, and they're like, not snake.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I hear this and immediately heal his legs.
Wait, hang on. Is that
bad.
guy that's sitting at that table that just got royally blended? Is he a snake?
No, that's Peter.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh, so sorry.
Peter hates snakes.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry, Peter.
Oh man, yeah.
Can I roll to heal this poor man? I'm sorry to interrupt. I feel so bad.
Sure.
It's a 1.
So you healed him for 4.
So
I just kiss it.
you lacerate his tendons, and then you're like, yeah, but it's warm, and it's here.
Well,
It'll
wait,
make that a
you
little
get
bit
1
better.
plus your charisma modifier.
Oh, that's
plus
right. That's right.
2.
That's right.
Yeah, so 4.
I think it's 8 total. Because last time you rolled a 1 on
6.
what's
So
this
it's
bucket?
7. It's 7. I heal him for 7.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
How much damage
okay.
did you do to him?
11.
4
So you
less.
healed most of it.
Yo, it was my best attack.
So he felt this insane pain, falls to the ground, and then all of a sudden there's a halfling, or a half elf that pops up on top of him. He's like, sorry, and starts like reviving him, I guess.
Pit pop, pit to the pop to the pit pop. Just nervously rapping at him.
Right.
You are all spineless cowards. And she jumps off the edge, and this woman is a full orc.
Now there's 12 people.
Yep.
Thank you.
Pretty ripped, I guess.
I like it.
She has a fresh bear pelt like around her shoulders.
Still
Whoa.
dripping blood.
I mean, it's untanned, as the wolf people tend to do. Sometimes they'll wear just fresh pelts.
I see.
And yeah, she stares you down, and she gives a sharp little whistle, and then you do hear this little whispering, like, and then you realize it's coming from the top row, and there are probably about 6 or 7 full-bloodied dire wolves looking down at you.
Ooh.
You can tell immediately that she is a wolf person.
Hugs is slowly beaming more and more and more.
I think he's in love.
And the person she was talking to in that cubby, Talvar, you can see him now as he kind of maneuvers his way up, and he is snake to a T. Like, has the sunken eyes and the gray skin and doesn't have this sort of thing. And he immediately starts climbing the side of the cliff, I guess,
Oh,
up
shoot.
towards the wolves.
Let's
Look,
get.
there's a snake. Let's kill that one.
And this woman says, how about we kill you instead?
Ha! I'd like to see you try. Here's one bear whose pelt you won't gain so easily.
You can
Perhaps
see,
I'll wear some dire wolves.
let's roll opposing intimidation checks, as there's a bunch of very impressionable young wolves here.
Right. Impression.
She got a natural 20.
Well, I got a 19 total.
So they're both really scary, but she's just terrifying.
She snaps her fingers, and the wolves descend upon you.